Okay, so it is already 3 p.m. sharp today. So I know that the time is very crucial, especially this weekend for us and also for Miss Nabila because she is a programmer. Okay, so time is very crucial for a programmer. Lah. Okay, so welcome everyone. Welcome all of the students. And then I can see that there are also a lecturer joining. I can see Miss Norshikin. So, hi Miss Norshikin.
Hi Puan Su and hi Miss Fatin.
Yes, Miss Nabila. Okay.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Nabila.
Okay, sama saja tu Fatin Nabila. Okay, so without any further ado, I will introduce Miss Fatin Nabila a little bit lah because you all need to know who is the speaker. Okay, so Miss Nabila has experience. Actually, now currently, Miss Fatin Nabila is working as a front end developer. Okay, for Gamelet IT Sendirian Berhad, it is based on Sabah here in Kota Kinabalu, Kolombong. And previously, after Miss Nabila have graduated from the university, she worked at KL. If I'm not mistaken, that there are few company lah she have worked previously before she joined Sabah. And Miss Nabila is actually Sarawakian. Okay, she is Sarawakian. Um, and then up until now, Miss Nabila already have 5 years experience in software development. Okay, so like I said just now, she is the front end developer. She is the one who responsible to create mostly the front end software. For example, the interfaces, all of the website interface, and then mobile, also mobile development. Okay, so she is specialized in JavaScript with React as the framework for the web application development and React Native for mobile application development. So up until now, she have developed a lot of mobile applications. So in Game Light IT Sendirian Berhad, she is the only one, the front end developer. So she is very valuable lah. Okay. So without any further ado, we can invite Miss Fatin Nabila. Okay, Miss Fatin, can start.
Okay, can I share screen? Okay. Oh, before that, I would like to share screen first. Can you see my screen?
Yes. Yeah, it is loading.
Can you guys hear me?
Volume. I can hear your voice. How about the others? Terry, you cannot a bit soft. Maybe Miss Nabila, you can adjust a little bit your mic.
Okay, I will try to talk a bit louder.
Okay, yes.
Okay?
Yes, now it
Okay.
is loaded.
Okay. Hello everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Fathin Nabila. I work for Gemla IT Malaysia's neighborhood. Actually, my company is based in Sabah, and we have a few branches. In one in Penang and one in KL. Previously, we have one in Singapore, but now due to COVID-19, we don't have it anymore. Today I'm going to talk about mobile development using React Native. Hello.
Yeah,
Oh,
continue.
everyone can hear. Okay.
Yeah.
But before that, I forgot to talk about myself. Before this, I worked in KL. After I graduated from University Malaysia Sarawak, I went to KL and worked as Java developer for 1 year. And the rest of my 4 years experience is as front-end developer. So I would like to speak on your interest on the global problem, which is a mobile app developer still a promising career in 2021. Well, according to Great Jobs, mobile application developer is the second most on-demand job among data scientists, software engineer, and front-end web developer as third, sixth, and seventh place respectively. So if you want to be a mobile application developer, I think the future will be bright for you. Well, if you are on a creative side that you don't really like to code, you can be you can go for animation or you can go for design. But if you are really like a calculative person, you can go for data scientist, which is a very promising, I would say a very promising salary. So I talk about front-end developer, but what is actually a front-end development? And there is also a back-end development. Actually, front-end development is an art of creating sites and web applications that render on client side. So basic language used are HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So anything that you see on your screen, that you see on your laptop or you see on your mobile, is actually front-end. I would say it's front-end development. And back-end development is development of making apps that render on server side. This includes creation of services that process business logic, access other resources such as database, file servers, cloud service, and more. There are many languages that you can use for backend, such as C#. You can also use JavaScript, Java, and PHP. But if you are very good in both, you can be both, which is called full stack development. And it's a mixture of logic and a creative person to do both. But it is actually a very high salary.
Miss Nabila, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Can do you mind to open the camera?
Oh, okay. But can see.
Okay, okay. Because usually the student will be more focused when they see the person who are talking.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Can I continue?
Yes, yes, of course.
So, what is a mobile app developer? Is it the back end or a front end? The obvious answer is the front end development. So there are a lot of language that you can use in mobile development, such as JavaScript, Java, Swift, Kotlin, and Dart. Java is for Android, and Kotlin is also developed for Java. And Swift is very specific for iOS, and Dart is developed by Google. So I would like to talk about framework because sorry if I am going to be very technical here, but these terms are quite familiar to me, but not for you. You can Google it later. I will just tell you a very simple definition here. So frameworks are code libraries. It's actually other people's code, and it is used. It is an open source. You could say it's free, and you can use it without the person knowing. So there are a few JavaScript frameworks such as Angular, Vue, React, and Svelte. Actually, these frameworks are designed for some reason, and I will tell you the reason later. But Angular has been with us a long time, while Vue and React are quite recent. But Svelte is the most recent JavaScript framework created. So why are we using frameworks? Like if I know one language, but I would still want to use framework, why hurt myself in the process? Why do you want to make yourself, work harder? But actually, framework helps us in a lot of ways, such as it helps to achieve structure in our application. It provides a common structure, so I don't have to code it from scratch. And I don't want to be using the code, and I don't want to write another code over and over again. In the end, it just be, yeah, I I'm lazy to do it, so I want to use the framework. That's the answer. People are just lazy. So there are very distinct things between React.js and React Native. Like I said, React.js is different from Native because it is a JavaScript library for building user interface, and it's typically used in web development. I can say that React is platform agnostic. I would agnostic means that you can call it as a god of platform because you can use it in any platform and the logic can be used anywhere. Means that you can learn it once and you can write it everywhere. Okay, it's very different when you can write it. You can write one code for everyone rather than you just learn it and then write it everywhere. This is because React has its own DOM, which it will render, and it will actually know it is for web or it is for mobile. What React Native is, the function is to talk to native platforms such as Android and iOS, and its job is to compile to native components and connect JavaScript to native code. If I talk about native here, means that it is a specific platform specific thing for one thing, such as a native app or native code. It means that it is very specific for one thing. Means that if Android only for Android and iOS only for iOS, you cannot combine those things. So how React Native works? So when you write code, it will compile to. This is just a simple code. It is just a hello there. It's just text. It will compile to a real native app. Real native app means iOS or Android. Means the one that you're holding right now, your phone. Except for Huawei. Huawei is a very different special case. So more details on that is when we add for web, if you are familiar with web components, then you will know this is a view. So if it's a view, then in Android it is an Android.view, and in iOS it's a UI view, but in React Native it's just a view. And for React for web, for input text, it will be edit text in Android. In iOS, it will be UI text field, but in React Native, it will be just a text input. So, if you see this image, it's just the same. A difference between iOS and Android. They have different components and different names. So I cannot write code. I have to write two codes here. One for Android and one for iOS. Because they have different components and different usage. If I write UI image view in Android, you won't know what is it, and it will cause an error, a compilation error. So how to create a React Native app? To create a React Native app, it's kind of, you have two ways to create it. React Native CLI and Expo CLI. CLI is command line interface. But because of you have two choices here, you have to choose which one do you think that are suitable for you. So there is a advantages and disadvantages of using one one framework or one choices on the other. For Export CLI, it's because it's a third party service, but it's still free. And it is actually a wrapper. A wrapper means a container that wraps on your application rather than your single application is being deployed to a mobile. It actually has a container being deployed to it together. So an Expo CLI will help you to manage your app development and simplify your development, but the disadvantages is it is very limited to Expo ecosystem. That means that you cannot go beyond whatever that they already specify for you. Next is React Native CLI. It is managed by React Native team or community, and it is a bare development. Means that it is a basic development. It doesn't have any fancy stuff or utilities or features in that. So any configuration or any nice stuff you have to do yourself. But the good thing is you have a full control of native environment. For example, if you want to use your camera in your mobile, you want to use the camera in what way that you want, you can still do it. But if you're using Expo CLI, you would have to follow the rules, and here you can just using React Native CLI, you can just do whatever against the rules. So I personally have developed in Expo rather than React Native because it is more simpler. So I will tell you how Expo works in your devices or in your phone or in your simulator. You have to download one Expo client app, and so whatever that you code, your configuration will be loaded into the app. So I will actually show you a bit demo on the React Native. So you can just go to expo.das if you are interested. But I will show you one example.
What was the link again, Miss Nabila? Expo?
It's okay. I will just show you. Wait a second.
Okay.
Okay, can you see my screen?
It is loading. Wait.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see. How about the other student? Can you all see it?
Can see. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So if you're developing an app, I don't think that it's harder to take your phone and deploy it every time. So Expo came out with a thing called Snack. Like it's how to say, it's a playground for you to play with the code and such. So this is a playground. So you can actually deploy it on like their device instead of yours. You can deploy it on iOS, Android, or web. So the code for React Native before this was not really developed for web, but right now, because it is really advanced, you can type one code for iOS, Android, and web. So you can just start to play because this is the free version. You have to wait.
Miss Nabila, your voice is become softer.
Oh, okay. Okay, so
So this is free, right?
yeah, it's free, but I think you have to yeah, it's
Register.
free.
Uh,
No, I don't think I am signed in. You can just do whatever you want. For example, you wanna build an app that just a simple app, a simple text that say that this is my app. So you can just edit this. Yeah, and this is a view. This is a text. So if a view you want to style whatever that you want to style it to be center or you want it to be um you want it to be to the left, you can do it. And you can also try it in Android. Yeah, it's just the same thing. You can just edit here.
okay, so there are some students asking questions in the
Oh,
chat, Nabila. So is
yes.
that correct link?
Oh yeah. Let me open it.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah, it's correct. And at last you can try it on the web. So this code will actually will be working on web too. You can, for you that already went to the site, you can go to docs. I think it's docs and go to the SDK here. So in SDK here, there are a lot of things that you can do with your mobile app. For example, everyone use MySuggestra. So when you use MySuggestra, you have to, the process is you have to, when you click checking, you want to, oh, you're not seeing my screen. Sorry about that. What about this?
maybe you need to share the whole windows.
Uh, Currently it's not working, the window thing. So yeah, I just share the tab.
Okay, okay.
You can go to Expo and Docs API reference. Go to the Expo SDK site. So when what were you saying? I was saying about MySuggestra. When you click check-in on your MySuggestra app, I'm sure everyone use it. So the process is you have to the process for a computer. They have to know, okay, they have to open the camera function and then deploy a barcode scanner and then read the barcode or QR code scanner and then get the images and process it on the back. So for that to actually happen, you can go to camera and try on this. Yeah, but this night is not available for trial, I think. So you want to use, if you want to use a camera function, you would not be able to try this because you need a real device instead of a dummy device with this. Because a camera is not even here; it's on on a real device. But if you are interested in something like, for example, a video, you can actually use this light effect. You can play whatever video, or if you're interested in making a little YouTube or simple YouTube or even Netflix, you can try to use this function, which is a video. I think it's a video and AVI playback status. So in web, you can just run this. You can pause, play, you want to repeat, just like whatever that YouTube have, whatever function that YouTube have, you were able to use this. So in the future, if you really like to, in the future, if you really like to play on this, you can look here, and if you want to publish your app one day in the Google Play or App Store, you can actually go to this site, and there's a publishing documentation on this one. But if you're really interested and you don't know, you can still ask me. But if you are not into apps development and you are into game development, you can venture on some other things. But it requires you to read and understand other language and code. I would suggest you to go for Unity. And if you are interested more on web, you can go for React.js, and there's a lot of other frameworks that's available for you. So yeah, that's all for me. Thank you.
It's very interesting, Miss Nabila. But the other student, of course, I think you all have a questions. But before that, I want to ask. So, what is the first step that we need to do when we want to develop a mobile app? Is that just go to this link and then try to develop whatever that we want,
Um,
or how?
I think the first step that you need to do when you want to develop is read. Right? Because you need to know what do you want to use. First, you want to use React or you want to use Angular, but say in this situation you want to use React, right? So the first thing you need to do is configuration, of course. So there is a getting started section. You have to install all of this. you want
Oh,
you have to
oh.
install in your computer. You need to install first. You need to sometimes it will not say in here, but before that you need to install Node.js. Yeah, and then you can use the Node to actually just start this, and then install it in your terminal.
Oh,
Or your what is it called in Windows? Terminal is
command line.
yeah,
Command line.
command line. And then
Ah,
if you want, go to a nice desired directory and start this and just paste it. So, but somewhere along the line, sometimes you have a bit of problems, but you can always go to Stack Overflow or search for any help here. The community is very helpful and they will help you in any way possible.
okay. So the uh, expo.dev is actually just the place for us to try the code lah, right? It is just like a playground lah. But if we want to really want to develop a mobile app, so we still need to install something lah. But it is still free, right?
Yeah, it will be free.
That something is the expo CLI lah.
Yeah, this is the whole thing is Expo CLI.
Mm. So The code or of all of the syntax, yes, of course, we can learn from the API reference, all of the guide here lah, right? And then I can see that the syntax is not that hard lah. Yeah, so I think we can open a Q&A station. Students, if you have any questions, you can ask. We still have 30 minutes.
Uh, Hello.
Yes,
So
Noel, we can hear
my
you.
name is Noel. Is React Native is open source?
React Native is, yeah, it's open source. It's by community. What do you mean that it's free or what?
Like if we use it for like business commercial, do we need to pay for it or is
So
it free?
far no. So far no. Thank God because it's owned by Facebook. They didn't want any money from any payment from the consumers or developers. So far you can just use it freely.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Any other questions, students?
Hello.
Yes, Young?
My question uh, is it fair to say that React Native is like one of the most used language for coding in mobile applications?
In the whole world, yes. I think probably over 60% there is always use for React Native. 60% of the whole population, the world population.
I see. Thank you.
Uh, how is the performance for React Native?
Oh, the performance, I would say before this, it is fairly lower, on the lower side, but since 2020, they have upgraded themselves to the extent of if you were to run a Swift, a Swift code, which is iOS development and React Native side by side, it will have a fairly same performance.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, Miss Norshikin?
Oh, hi. Oh, sorry. Hi, Miss Farah. I have a question. I am curious. I want to know if, let's say, we want to develop a mobile application from a web-based system, do we need to copy the same exact source code from the web-based, or we need to write the new source code for the mobile application from scratch?
You want to copy paste from here, is it? The
Web-based, yeah.
web page. You mean like a component like div or HTML component? Is that it? You want to just copy and paste? No. No.
I think what Miss Norshikin asked you is about if just now we can see that there's a code for iOS, there's a code for Android, and then there's also a code for web app, if I'm not mistaken, just now in your previous screen. Okay, so when maybe yeah, so maybe when is the same code can be applicable to maybe for the web, the same code can be applicable to the Android.
If you write a React Native code, this which is this one, you can run it on on the left side, the three of this. For website, Android and iOS. You write one code in React Native. Is that answering?
Oh, okay. So actually, the React Native, when you use all of the syntax from the React Native syntax, it can run to iOS. It also can run to Android and also to the web lah.
Yeah, that is the problem. Why that is the first place why they develop React Native. Facebook develop React Native because they don't want to write code. You don't have any resource to write Android and iOS both, or don't have time, don't have people. So they came up with React Native that can write on three platforms and save time and save money
Oh,
instead of
okay. Oh, okay. So it is cross-platform code lah, language. What I
yeah.
can say, right? So Miss Norshikin said here, as here, can we use the same exact source code from web best to do the web to do the development mobile application?
Oh, I am sorry for mispronunciation because you have to use React Native syntax. If not, you will have compilation error. So I saw another question. If you want to build app, do we need requirement for PC hardware like GPU need to be higher or processor need to upgrade? I'm not into. I'm not really a good person to talk about what is a performance, but I'm running on MacBook and it's uh, fairly fast and easy for me to develop. But if you were to develop a Windows, I would say it's a bit harder because uh, somehow Windows has a better you can always add on to Windows GPU or Windows processor, but in the end of the day, MacBook is much more suitable for app development, I would say.
So your recommendation is to use Mac lah when we want to code use React Native.
Yeah. So far, you can always use both. Actually, you can always use both. No problem at all.
Oh, okay. Because I know lah, because you are the Mac fan since long time ago. So of course you choose Mac lah. Because but usually the most common users or operating system, especially for student lah, we are almost all of us are using Windows lah. So that's why.
Yeah, but Windows, I know that you would have a bit of configuration error, but when you pass the configuration error, you will able to do development easily, surely.
Okay.
Oh, you have another. I have another question. What is the exact scope for front-end development? Do they touch backend as well? Oh, for your information, I don't really touch backend, but if I would needed to, I would. As I mentioned before, someone who touch both front-end and backend is called a full stack developer. But you can always do both, no problem.
Yeah, so in short, it is actually based on the requirement of the company lah. If you have enough staff, then usually they will have exact of a boundary lah. Who is the back end, who is the front end. But actually, when the company is short of staff, then of course some of the front end should become kena paksa become the back end, and then some back end should learn about the front end also lah. Okay,
Yeah.
so mm, is there any questions? Please use this time, student, because we still have 20 minutes. Yeah, and actually this is not everyday everyday occasion that we can ask Miss Nabila. Miss Nabila, we know lah, she is a programmer, and a programmer is a little bit busier.
Uh,
Yeah.
does the employer look for someone with this knowledge?
With a web-based knowledge? Is that a question?
Yeah.
Actually, web-based is the basic of all the mother of basics. Web-based is basic. So if you want to be a mobile developer, the first thing you need to know is how to do a web, because that knowledge will help you in the future. So yeah, actually, the employer will still need me or need any other employee to do a web development. Miss Nabila, there has been any difficulty working as front-end developer? Is that answer your question, Noel?
Yeah.
Okay. Miss Nabila, there has been a difficulty working as front-end developer. I don't want to be not honest here, but the first year I've been working until 3 a.m. for 1 year. Yeah, so it is difficult. But when you get better, when your skills get better, especially when I'm in my third year and fourth year, yeah, you manage your time better, so you work faster. Yeah, eventually you will be able to do it too.
Then don't get scared, Terry. Yes, Young?
Yeah, I want to ask Miss Nabila, like,
Yeah.
is there any advice that you could give, like, for someone that is trying to get into like mobile app development? Like, what's the best advice? Or
The best advice is experiment a lot. When you actually went to face a difficulty or face a hurdle, always go for Stack Overflow. Always reach out for the community to help you, because uh, usually the problems you have, yes, other people already face it, so they will always post it, and they always post the question and answers for you, so you can search it. Yeah, for you, I think never ever stop being curious, because that's the first thing of being a developer is to read and experiment.
okay, thank you.
Yeah, so is there any questions, guys?
Our question. Hi, my name is Wong, and I would like to ask about the state management in React Native. Is it necessary to always use the management library like Redux, or is it enough already just to use the React hook and React context for the state management in React Native? Also, when we are choosing the state management library, do we have how do we choose the library for our state management?
Oh, this is a technical question. Can you write on the chat, because your voice is breaking a bit?
Okay.
Yeah, just now Wong voice is breaking up. So yeah, I think it's better if Wong put it in our chat lah. So while waiting for Wong, the other student also can write your questions in our chat lah.
Is it necessary to always use tag management library in the such as Redux? Okay, the basic of React is you have to know why React is developed. So when I say that it is developed to make things faster, so that I can match and Android in Java in performance. So why is it that Facebook try to develop the and how they it depends on them on how to match the technology on the back actually. So when you have problem like this, you have to think out of the box. So one of the way that make sure the performance is parallel to each other is they have to create a replica of the DOM. And when the state change, when you change something on the fly just now, like hello world, and I type something, hi, this is my app. So that is state changing. So behind the engine, React will make a copy of the DOM. DOM is I would say the React DOM, and actually not change it on the fly because they cannot change on the fly because it will actually slow the processor, so that they make a copy and then they use the copy instead. So when you talk about state management such as Redux, before this they did not change. They didn't develop Redux as a state management, but their fundamental is a state management, but it's not called Redux. I forgot what it's called, but right now it is called Redux. Right now they call it Redux. And for you to be able to make sure it match the performance with other native apps, yeah, you should use Redux. How is it different from Redux? So I hope that answer your question, Wong. How is that native different from the SJS? I have the presentation right here. If you okay, the first thing that you see is syntax. This is React.js. React is loading. The first thing that you see is this is React.js. React forward as React.js. The difference is the syntax. It's using div, and this is using view in React Native. And you're using input in React.js and using text input in React Native. So the difference is React.js is before this it is the language, yes, this is the syntax, and before this React Native is not it's very fairly used specific for mobile, but now it has transcended to both mobile and web. So yeah, there is the difference. But React.js is fairly for web. Ask me, how would you develop an app by using Expo? Yeah, I already develop a few apps by using Expo. Okay.
Pardon me,
No?
your voice is breaking up just now. Can you please repeat again?
Which question? Which was?
Yeah, the Farah Vincent questions. Can you please
Oh,
answer that again?
for Vincent question, has Miss already developed by an app using Expo? Yes, I already developed a few apps. Can you write code for Android iOS in the same code? Can you write code for Android and iOS in the same code base? That's why I'm using Expo because I just write one code and you can use for Android and iOS. You can deploy for Android and iOS.
So in short, using Expo CLI, yes, can write Android and iOS in the same code base lah, right? Using Expo CLI.
Yeah, you can
But
use
the
creativity. But
but the weakness just now for the Expo CLI is it cannot use camera, right? Because it needs
uh,
the real camera, the real mobile phone.
no. I mean, for this presentation, I cannot show you
Oh,
my device. So it is a snack. Snack is that has their own limitations. But if you are in front of me, and I can show you how is it lah. But now, yeah.
oh, but still, but there are some configuration lah needed to be done in order to use it in our real mobile lah, right?
Yeah, sure. You need to install their own API in the Expo.dev. You can read about it in the SDK section.
Okay, so is there any questions anymore? Ah,
So how do you guys test QR code using Expo? Oh, for this you have to use camera, right? So you cannot use the Expo.dev, the snack there. So you have to actually install the Expo in your computer, and then take your phone and just test it on the plug. So that's how you test it. Okay.
so is there any question? Any more questions?
I see need to plug the phone in order to use the camera function. Okay. So what's the question? I see need to plug the phone in order to use the
No,
camera.
Farah is stating the statement, the fact
Oh,
again.
okay.
So he is highlighting that actually to be able to use the camera, then we really need to plug in the real mobile in our laptop lah. Right, Farah? Is that what you mean? Okay, so we still have about 7 minutes. So don't lose your don't miss your chance, guys and girls. Maybe this is your future career as a front end developer. So like don't be afraid because I think all of the software developer will surely, or not only software developer lah, all of the job in this world will start with hard part first. Okay, yes, there's another questions, Miss Nabila.
Easier to work as solo and multiple teams. You can make your own decision or with a team of finance. Actually, I think it's easier to work solo. Because I decide on what stack I'm using, whether you are using framework, whether you using which framework. Like I showed just now, there's an Angular and Vue. There's always new technology, so you have to read about it and experiment on it. You have to be very curious. Uh, and then there is always a design and logic problem. Some people have different styles. So if you're solo, it's easier. But if you're with a team or front-end dev, maybe you might think that difficult. But I think at the end of the day, all front-end they actually have the same goal. They want to develop it fast and they want to give a pretty and creative and easy to use app and website for the consumers. Okay.
Okay, so Actually, so in short, based on Miss Nabila, it is also good lah to work as a solo lah, right, Miss Nabila? But it's still good to be in team lah, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
everyone has the same goals. And then, the good thing of if you are working in a team, usually when, if you, I mean, if you are working solo, you need to think all of the work by yourself. But if you work in a team, the other part of the, for example, the idea, how the flow of the system, all will be, I mean, your team will help you to do that. So yeah, there's a pro and contra lah for that, working in solo and within the team.
As a fresh grad, there's no point. You're right.
Yeah, so actually, if you all remember, previously, I forgot the name of the mister. He said that when you just go out, when you just graduated, it is better if you work in a team first lah, because you all can get the experience first. After that, baru you can work as solo lah. Okay, so sorry guys, my internet connection is slow. I will need to change my data plan first. So you all can continue to ask Miss Nabila while I'm looking for the link. So I'm connected already. Okay, so this is the link. Uh, I need all of the student to fill in this link, yeah. Yeah, so is my voice clear now? I just changed my
Yes.
plan. Okay, yes, good. Thank you. Okay, so all everyone, I will need you all to fill in this form first, because it is like a summary of what we have talked today. So yeah, so please fill in the form. Okay, so while you are filling in the form, uh, if you all have any questions now, I think we can allow for one or two questions before we end our sessions. We have about 1 minute more left. So if you all don't have any questions, then I think it is the time for us to end our session. But don't put the don't leave the session first, because we want to thank Miss Nabila for her very useful informations, and then at least although we learn about not really details about the React, but at least we all know already what we need to do if we want to learn about React, right? So in short, from this talk, you all at first what you will need to do, RBU, wait, Okay, so just put RSD lah. Okay, so I will know later based on your name. So just put RSD lah. Okay? Okay. So, in short, all of you here, if you want to start to learn about React Native, so first you will need to go to the link that previously already given by Miss Nabila and Farah. Uh, uh, the links is here. My connection is not very good lah. Farah, can you please copy paste again the link to the expo? So if you want to use it to start to develop using Expo, first you need to install lah. But the Expo.cli just now you can use it as the playground, but of course there are some limitation of it. But if you're really curious, then you should do the installation. If you really curious, you install first. Yes. Okay, so guys, everyone, guys and girls, use this link as the starting, okay, to learn. Okay, so uh, we can see that all of the syntax, it's kind of not really hard because yeah, it was the purpose of the React was developed like previously, right? Because it is to make the programmer life easier. So the syntax, as you all can see, it is not that hard because it is the syntax is very powerful. Okay, so you don't need to write a lot of code to do some tasks. So it is good lah. Okay, so to get started, yes, Farah. Thank you, Farah. Okay, so thank you, Miss Nabila, for your generosity to accept our invitation to be a speaker for today. Your input is very beneficial to all of us. And then I hope all of the student here today will get some beneficial info from this talk. That's all. And then thank you for all of your time to spend to get this knowledge from Miss Nabila. Okay, so Miss Nabila, once again, we thank you for all of your knowledge lah. Okay, so kasih halal lah your knowledge to all of us lah.
Okay, thank you all.
Okay, so everybody, please fill in the form and then we can dismiss our class. Sorry, our talk. Okay, so bye everyone. Thank you everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Okay, bye.